Hi, everyone. I'm back with the first part of my Weekend of Wisdom series, which is going to be today, tomorrow, and Sunday, where I'm covering a few different topics. Today, I'm going to be talking about a call to pivot towards our greater purpose for us and to contribute to the collective healing and the highest good of humanity. So I talked about this on my last live, which was just me kind of channeling how I feel about the energy of the times, right? Like, what is the collective energy that I feel is happening right now? Um, and what I'm really feeling is that now we're being called to kind of take a break, stop everything, and really take inventory, right? So, a lot of times when we are just in the same routine and we're doing the same thing over and over again, we don't get the opportunity to really feel what we're feeling and to really look within and access what our higher self, what our soul is really wanting, right? And we don't have the opportunity to actually feel our feelings and integrate them so that we can be more in alignment with who we really are. So, what I'm really feeling is that during this time, we're being called to do that, right? We're being called to go within, feel those feelings that have been lying underneath the surface that are waiting to be felt, and then see what's underneath that. So, today we're just going to talk about how you can kind of pivot your energy to be more in alignment with um, your higher purpose. So what does that even mean, right? To be in alignment with your higher purpose? Well, I believe that we all came to this planet to do something, right? To contribute our gifts and to contribute in some way, and that we all have gifts to share. And if we're not sharing those gifts, then we might not feel 100% in alignment, right? We might not feel happy. We might just go about our day doing, like, going through the motions and not really feeling excitement or happy or lit up by what we're doing. So, when you're in alignment with who you really are, I believe that you feel lit up by what you're doing. And the way that you can know that is by looking at what excites you, looking at what lights you up, what you're naturally interested, right? That a great way to know sorry a great way to know what your soul is desiring is just by looking at what you're naturally interested in, right? So, like, for me, I was always naturally interested in, like, what lies beneath the surface, like astrology, tarot cards, understanding why people do the things that they do. So naturally, my soul's calling is to understand why people do what they do, help people heal, and help people grow. So just looking at what you naturally like, that will really help you to see, like, what would really be more in alignment with your soul. So I think now we're being asked to kind of maybe change what we're doing on a daily basis to be more in alignment with who we really are. And when we become more in alignment with who we really are, that is when we contribute more to the collective, right? But we have to do it within first. So they always say, like, as within, so without, as above, so below. And what that really means is that you cannot contribute to the greatest good of humanity until you are in alignment and you're contributing to the greatest good of yourself. So that is what I'm really feeling that we are being called to do right now. And the one thing that I really want to talk about is how breath work ties into this, right? So, as many of you know, I guide people to healing through breath work and through my psychic abilities. When people are laying down to breathe in my presence, I tap into their energy and I can have a sense of where they're feeling stuck or what they need to let go of. And then I guide them to let go of that through the breath. So how is breath work tied to aligning with your higher purpose or aligning to your soul's purpose? And it actually ties to it really beautifully because when we lay down to breathe and when we do breath work, a couple things are happening, right? So the first thing that's happening is we're having an experience of present time. What does that mean? I know we always hear like, oh, stay present, be in the present. But when you are focusing on your breathing, when you're consciously focusing on your breathing, you have to be in present time because your breath is in present time, right? You're not breathing in the past. You're not breathing in the future. You're breathing in the present. So if you're consciously focusing on your breathing, you are experiencing yourself in present time. And that is a really beautiful thing because as much as we don't like to admit it, a lot of times we are in the past thinking about things that happened in the past, or we're thinking about what might happen in the future, right? So when we're in present time, we're actually able to experience ourselves and we're able to experience the divine, a greater consciousness, the universe, whatever you want to call it. We're able to experience that just by inhaling and exhaling, right? We have an experience of our connection to the divine or ourselves as divine energy. So that's the first thing that happens when we're breathing. The second thing that happens is we begin to release stuck energy. And how that works is as we get oxygen moving in the body, right? So we start breathing and things start moving. Stuff that's living in our body, right? Stuck energy. So what does that mean? So stuck energy essentially is everything that happens to us, whether it's a physical thing, something emotional, something that happened in childhood. It has a chemical signature that lives in our cells, right? So this chemical signature is living in our body. And it stays there until we allow ourselves to integrate it and release it. So as we start breathing, this stuck energy starts moving and it begins to dissipate and release from our body. And we can feel it. We might feel it. We might not feel it, but we're getting the energy moving and we're releasing these old thought patterns, old stuck energy from our body. And what happens is that once that stuck energy is released, it creates room for us to be more in present time and more in alignment with who we really are. So instead of living in reaction to what happened to us in the past, meaning an example of that would be maybe, your mom was always yelling at you, right? So you were always afraid. So you living in reaction to the past would be maybe you're always on edge or you're always nervous or afraid. So as you do the breath work and you start to move that energy out of your body, you're no longer living in reaction to what happened and you're able to be more present. And when we're more present, we're more aligned with who we really are. And then we start to have all these ideas come in like, oh, I'm really interested in writing. Maybe I should write a book. And we start to become more in alignment with who we really are and what our soul is really asking for. And I believe that really ties into what's happening in the world right now is we're all being asked to go within, to look deep within and decide, how can I be more in alignment with my soul's purpose so that I can feel more aligned and then I can contribute to the collective. So that is the message that I really wanted to share today around how those two things kind of go together, breath work and just pivoting towards our soul's purpose, which in turn is bringing us towards something that's greater for the collective. So that is really one of the magical things about breath work and what happens in your sessions, right? When you start doing breath work and you start practicing it regularly, you're really able to go deep, release a lot of that stuff that is blocking you, and start to be more in alignment with who you really are. So if you have any questions, I can't see if there's anyone who is watching, but I'm willing to answer any questions right now about this. So, yeah, and then one of the other things I just wanted to mention is the issue around clarity, because I know a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, like this is a time for me to go within and figure out what else I should be doing, or how I can pivot my business, or how I can start a business, or how I can change what I'm doing, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what that is. And breathwork is actually really amazing for that, because you really are able to gain some real clarity when you start breathing, because like I said, you are having an experience of yourself in present time, and you really start to open that container for all of these creative ideas to come through. I know for me, when I'm breathing, I am always having these really amazing creative ideas that come to me, and some of them are just wild, and I'm just like, I don't even know if that's something I should do. But a lot of them are things that I have ended up doing. So, yeah, you really are able to find clarity. So, at this point, I would like to invite you to click the link that I'm going to put at the bottom, to talk about this with me on a call. I'm offering a free breakthrough call, a breakthrough consultation call, to talk about working with me in this way to really gain clarity, to create action steps, to utilize breath work, utilize my psychic abilities to help you understand where you're feeling stuck and release it, because what can happen through this work really is magic. I've watched so many people transform in the last few months. It's been really exciting just watching the people that I've worked with. It's funny, so many of them have had really awesome changes in career and clarity. Like getting raises, getting a promotion, finding a new job, getting new business ideas. So it's really exciting to watch these things happen and just to see the magic of this work. So again, I'm going to put the link at the bottom, and I invite you to reach out to me so we can talk about this more. Okay. Thank you. Bye, guys.